Did you know that the next 40 days could quite literally change the next 40 years of your life? Today is the second day of Lent. Yesterday we spoke about what Lent is, and today I want to be sharing with you why you should be celebrating Lent this year. First of all, if you think Lent is about giving up food, drink, or even sweets, then you've got it all wrong. Now, while it's true that the 40 days leading up to Easter should reflect Jesus' 40 days in the wilderness, it should also reflect Moses' 40 days in the wilderness and also Noah's 40 days and 40 nights on the boat. Now, the Bible holds a lot of significance to the number 40. And what we see in Moses' 40-year wandering isn't fasting, but rather feasting. Him and the rest of Israel were feasting on manna provided by God. Now, one thing we see with Jesus is that although he was fasting from food, he was actually feasting on the Word of God. Now, if you were to ask me what is one of the biggest reasons why you should be doing Lent this year, I would say is because it reveals our dependencies. Now, if we look at what God was doing through Moses in the wilderness, we see that God was trying to show Moses that he should no longer be dependent on Egypt and the things of Egypt, but rather he should be dependent on him, on Yahweh, for all the protection and all the provision. And this is what Moses was teaching the Israelites. And the same thing goes with Jesus. Jesus was in the wilderness so that he could ultimately teach us how we should be handling the wilderness in our lives, right? Like Adam and Eve, when they fell because they were after the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. And Jesus in the wilderness was tempted by all those things and did not fail. And so in the wilderness, Jesus is also teaching us that the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life are all things that are going to be vying and grabbing for our attention, but we should not be dependent on those things. Rather, we should be looking to God for all of our dependency.